Hello, this is not a spring chicken. We came out here to the beach, of course. I know, and you know shall we say, the bathrooms are not quite open yet, so I came double swimsuited. Well, because that way you get two swimsuit looks, right, at the same time. But anyway, we are here, and the big news today, of course, is, you know, shame on you people for driving those SUVs that get 8 miles to the gallon. Oh yeah, you want to protect your families. Well, I guess you should be getting another car. The president, can you believe this, is virtually laughing at people about this. Although, doesn't he go to events in, what, bulletproof SUVs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, you know, you would expect that, the security, the detachment, all that. Meanwhile, we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today.
Okay. I mean, this guy had, first of all, he had the nerve to be at a green thing while the country's on the verge of a shutdown, which it's over $7 billion of discretionary spending. $7 billion out of a $1.5 trillion budget, which is paperclip money for the Pentagon, and they're going to shut down our country, and he's busy laughing. I heard this morning people on the left, they had not a lot of nice names for this man and wanting somebody to run against him. They're extremely disappointed in a man that is braying like a jackass in front of people at a made-up event, telling people, you should buy the O and the Super O, because those are the cars that I recommend, and I'm America's greatest president who's soon to be on Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah, but first of all, those cars are not available to buy right now.
Democrats that are on the left and green people don't understand. From the time you start working on the O and the Super O, it's at least 7 years before it gets into production. So you're not going to have, and the very fact that the largest sellers that the government-owned GM and the government-owned Chrysler produce are the big vehicles that get 8 miles a gallon.
Those are the cars that are selling, aren't
Those are the cars that are selling. And you're not going to stop people because everybody out there, including the Democrats, know there is no oil crisis. We have the largest oil fields in the world in the United States, and the president will not allow any drilling.
And Obama takes an anti-military stance on the budget.
Oh yeah, he will veto any budget that has any cuts in it, even if it provides money for the sick and the disabled in the United States military.
Oh, and I did want to say, the beach really does look like this in Southern California today. It's very cold.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's the trick is, while it looks so beautiful out there, as you can see, there's a storm everywhere. God-awful huge storm. Maybe I can get out of the car and we can see. That, folks, is a heck of a storm out there. I mean, it is snowing, it is raining, it is hailing, it is sleeting, you name it, everywhere but where we're sitting.
I know, how do we rate on that?
Yep.
It looks like much naughtiness going on by the unions in Wisconsin judge election as tens of thousands, if not counter votes, found.
Yeah, and it seems that the unions buried, they're not saying the unions, it's just said that there tend to be large discrepancy in the vote counts in areas that were controlled by liberal Democrats and the unions. How about, 15,000 votes in one county not counted because 10,000 of those votes happened to be for the Republican? They said at the moment, all of the things, it looks like it's a massive landslide for Governor Walker, and because their judge is going to be reelected by amounts that they never even thought possible.
Oh, really?
And since they are democratically controlled areas, and the votes are all heavily for the current Supreme Court justice, it does look like there's been a lot of shenanigans going on. Mm-hmm. Well, I remember that after the election was over, enough votes were found in the presidential election to have given George Bush the popular vote. So that's what Democrats do. I mean, I grew up in an era when they found 20 boxes of votes for Richard Nixon during the Kennedy election sitting in the Lake Superior.
Yeah.
So.
And shut down talks yield no agreement as clock ticks down.
Well, yeah, they said they've now agreed over all the social issues. The problem is the Democrats we have cut as much as we're going to cut, and if you cut any more, you're going to be starving children. You're going to deny women the rights to breast exams. First of all, the food for the children isn't included. The breast exams are never been included. Your grandparents are going to be eating dog food. No, that's all covered too, folks. It's got to do with they just simply don't. They feel we have compromised enough. They didn't compromise anything. They just simply, the money that they took was out of $43 billion extra the president added to the budget in order that they could say they cut money.
And $7 billion in budget cuts will destroy the economy.
I heard the deaf people on the left today, actually Barack Obama, the economists have all agreed that if we cut this deep, it will bring a screeching halt to the economy. The interest on the debt that he's ran up is $2 billion a week. So that's 3 weeks interest, folks, on just his debt. And his interest payments aren't destroying the economy.
And 2 killed in the latest earthquake that hit Japan and dozens injured.
I know. As they have another massive earthquake, shut down another nuclear reactor, the Toyota is ramping up production of automobiles in the middle of a new tsunami warning coming at them. So.
Well, you know, they can't stop just because of the tsunami warning.
Yeah, if they get people sitting in factories by the ocean.
Oh, well, maybe.
Yeah, and they don't have any power. They have throttled back all their power across the nation because they've had to shut more reactors down. So when your power's cut back, well, we're going to start production in 2 weeks at 50% for 1 week to see if it'll work.
British spy files shed light on Nazi saboteurs.
Okay, I got something for the people at the AP that basically put that out. Go to the History Channel or the Military Channel, and you'll see all of that stuff. And it was done like a decade ago in the BBC. They're a little behind it. That shows you how they don't want to say say anything negative about the Democratic Party, the president. So they go dig up things. You know that Stonehenge may have been created as an astrological site.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they got to have some news other than what they're reporting. So.
Social Security stopped mailing yearly earnings statements.
Isn't that something? Because they want to go to email only on Social Security. I could raise if the camera was facing me, I could raise my hand and say, most seniors don't have online connections, people.
Don't have email.
I know, but they think everybody does in the White House.
I mean, there's a lot of people that could opt in for it,
but they,
don't.
I know.
Libyan opposition leader, rebels must gain U.S. support.
Yeah, they discovered something big this morning as they killed more of the rebels. They took out all the armor the rebels had this morning, killing all kinds of people because, well, nobody told us that they had armor, so they don't anymore.
Colorado police pepper spray misbehave an 8-year-old boy.
And they're in bad trouble about that.
I mean, an 8-year-old
kid? An 8-year-old kid, and they pepper sprayed him. I mean, that's totally. It's just like tasering, some child.
Somebody's grandma.
Yeah, but they just don't. They have no brains, is what they don't have. So.
I think part of it is they didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And they had it.
Well, because we might actually have to touch him. So instead, they pepper spray him. Yeah, they probably didn't have a taser gun available strong enough to kill an elephant, so they used a pepper spray instead.
Ozone layer faces record 40% loss over the Arctic.
Oh, I know. It's their Democrats, and this comes from the same people that gave you the oceans that are going to raise a foot within the next decade, and that the cities on the shorelines will all be, and that all the doom and gloom people well, the ozone layer is collapsing. Well, they've been doing bad news about the ozone collapsing for 20 years now, and it's still there, folks.
And Trump hammers away at Obama citizenship question.
Okay, we're putting it this way. The place where I was born, everything was was destroyed. All the records, but because of my age, they didn't have microfilm. They didn't have all of that in my day. The records, the hospital burned to the ground. The city records burned to the ground. And you know how I managed to get my birth certificate to get a passport to go? I simply went to a member of the family, people that were older than me that vouched for me. Obama can't find anybody that knows him that can vouch for a birth certificate.
Oh, I thought he did.
That is a piece of paper. That is a piece of paper saying Barry Obama, as he known, Barry Hussein Obama was born in Hawaii.
Yeah, but he's not even that old.
I know. But because there aren't any records, they can't. Okay, All he's got to do to stop it is to produce a birth certificate. They can't even manufacture a phony birth certificate, because if they manufacture the phony birth certificate, they have to show an original birth certificate that's time dated by its. They'll demand that basically they test it. So, but the trick is, during the last presidential election, it was irrelevant because John McCain wasn't born in the country either. He was born in Panama. He has
That's
not.
why
McCain
they let it slide. See, part of it is if Hillary would have pushed it, but everybody was.
Hillary was born in this country, born in Illinois.
If Hillary would have pushed it, then
Obama would have been up the creek. But now, but it is.
But she didn't want to push it because she'd look racist.
I know, and they said Donald Trump is basically being threatened by all the government officers. But Donald Trump is saying it's very simple. Produce your birth certificate, Mr. President. If you can't, then you basically deserve to be in. He said this man deserves to be in a jail cell for violating the Constitution, and he has started. You know that he's now pushed ahead of Romney on the Republican side. So Trump is now ahead of Romney.
Wait, is he planning on running for president?
It looks like it.
Yeah, Anna Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
People are simply getting tired of politics as usual, but top politicians could care less, not like what Bill O'Reilly seemed to think. He said, I don't understand why they're doing this, because they don't give a damn.